Dave & Buster's is your destination for fun. Eat delicious chef-crafted food. Try sizzling favorites and new creations from our talented chefs. Drink the coolest cocktail creations. Play the hottest new games to win awesome prizes. And watch all the games in the best sports bar ever. Only at Dave & Buster's.
The Steve Davis Show is proudly presented by Dave & Buster's.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Chad Adcox, the head football coach in Manzano High School, and right now currently 8-0. And you know, it's two more games left, and it just seems like the season just went by.
Yeah, it's flying. By. It's definitely flying by. You know, it doesn't seem like that long ago we were in summer practice and getting ready, and we're already, you know, halfway through the district. So it's flying for sure.
Well, this year was, you know, let's just go back 2 years. I mean, this team has actually developed over the last 2 years. I mean, these guys were mostly all sophomores at that time, and you have to be proud of what they've accomplished, and your staff, the whole thing.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. We knew they were a very talented group coming in as freshmen, and we kept them all together on the freshmen. I didn't let anybody come up their freshman year. And then their sophomore year, you know, we started a lot of them. Our first game, you know, going back 2 years against Cleveland, we started 9 sophomores in that game, and took a real beating to Cleveland in that first game. But, you know, they learned to take the battles and to get better each and every week, and then we've been building.
That year, that sophomore, but you still made the playoffs.
We did.
You know what I mean? You got, you know, you took your lumps earlier in the year, but each week you got better and better.
Yeah, we did, without a doubt. You know, and that's what's going to happen when you have young kids starting. You have those sophomores. You're gonna take some lumps, and then hopefully you can develop them over time. And as they get better, you know, obviously you're gonna get more wins. So they really did a lot that first year as sophomores. And then last year, I mean, you know, we did pretty good. We were 10-3, made it to the semis, lost to Rio Rancho, the eventual state champs. And this year it's going good so far. So.
Well, you know, I don't like to jinx anything or do anything, but it's, you know, when I like I said, the beginning of the year when I went and talked to you before one of your games was just basically as, you know, how good are you going to be, you know, and with all the expectations, because expectations sometimes get unreal. Okay.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, to me, the expectations are, you know, I mean, they're there, but we kind of try and tell our kids all the time, and I mean, I tell the staff same thing, like, that's for the fans, so to speak. You know, I mean, we control what we control, and we control what's inside those yard lines, and that's the kids and ourselves. And so let's control what we can, and you know, let's just go play football and let the expectations be what they are. And I mean, don't worry about them. And I really don't. If you look, you know, in you know, we just recently played La Cueva in the 1 versus 2 game, you know, and Yotis came out and said, well, what do you guys think? It's 1 versus 2, and I'm like, it's game 7, you know, it's not 1 versus 2 to us, it's just game 7, it's the next game up. So, you know, that's kind of just the mentality we've had all year.
Well, from that 1 to 2, it was neat it was Metro. Okay, I mean,
yeah, for a football fan, that was awesome.
You know, I mean, from my standpoint, I mean, I didn't ask Jonas that question, and I know it's been a while, or if it's even happened, but you know, when's the last time 2 Albuquerque teams were 1 and 2 in the history? I mean, I can go back 20 years, almost 20 years, and say that's.
There's been some big games, but it hadn't been 1 and 2.
Right.
You know, yeah, there'd been, because if you remember 2010, Manzano and La Cueva with Daniels. We ended up winning that game 56-55, and we ended up being the 1 seed in the playoffs that year, and they're the 2 in the playoffs. But that was in the district that we played. But it was a great game. But it wasn't.
I was there. I was all
yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was 1 versus 2 at the time. It was like 2 versus 3, because I think somebody else was 1.
And that's what I thought. I think that was really. I mean, trust me. I mean, you know, is all we hear about is Rio Rancho, Cleveland, and Cruces and Mayfield. Okay, I mean, and now you kind of jumped, you know, a little bit. You're actually number 1. So just say it the way it is. But
no, I mean, as a fan, I thought that was awesome for the fans, and I mean, it was a great crowd. I think they estimated close to 5,000 people there, and I mean, for a regular season game at Wilson, you don't see that very often, so.
A lot of purple.
A lot of purple, man. It was a homecoming game for us, and it wasn't designed that way. It was just that was our first Friday night home game was La Cueva, and I went with that game, and so it ended up being a good crowd for us because it was homecoming, and then it was 1 versus 2 to put on top of that. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, let's go to some highlights about it. Trisco Heritage. We got three highlights, and then we'll start with the Trisco, and this is kind of.
So this is clear back to week 1, and we had our starting running back, Xavier Ivy-Sod, had injured his shoulder during the summer workouts, and so we had to put in Alejandro Valles, who stepped up just marvelously. I think he had 130 yards.
He's always stepped up, isn't he?
The kid's a player. He is a player. He had 130 yards, I think 33 touchdowns. Really, really great effort by him. Trisco's a scrappy team. It was a tough game to open up with for sure. And then, Bird came out and he's playing quarterback, and he's done a great job this year of just being a quarterback, making the plays he needs to make and being smart. He takes care of the ball well, and he's ran the ball and thrown the ball well. I mean, everybody thinks he can't throw, but just the other day against Clovis, he was 14 of 16, so did a great job.
I tell you, and he's a great kid.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, I remember him coming into, coming back. He was doing something in track, and he came in, and he was a sophomore or a freshman at that time, and I just told him, I said, you just keep that same attitude that you have today.
And he has.
And he just is so humble and so.
Without a doubt.
He's great to talk to, and he doesn't carry that. I mean, he's proud to be a team. I mean, his teammates are proud of him.
Yeah, without a doubt. That's one of the things I think it's very funny. Maybe it's because he's kind of already got a scholarship offer, but I put the film up and the kids can put their own highlights on, and he never puts highlights up, hardly ever does he do that. I mean, maybe it's because he's already got his offer, I don't know, but I just think that's kind of who he is. He's humble. He doesn't need to, say, hey, look at me. He just goes out and does his job, and I think that's one of the best things I admire.
He just lets Proview.
He lets Proview do it. Yeah, exactly. He lets Proview be, do the highlights for him.
No, that Trisco Heritage is probably going to win their district, and there could be a possibility that West Mesa gets that number 12 spot, and that's kind of a neat to see that district get 2 teams.
Yeah, I think Coach McMath's done a hell of a job this year. They're. No disrespect to anybody else, but I think, West Mesa probably wins out, and I believe they go 7-3. I mean, that's a great job, by Coach McMath over there at West Mesa, and I mean, good for them, man. That's what he's been wanting to do, is try and get that next step, get into the playoffs, and, I think he's set his team up to get there, so.
Well, and I think that's something that you did with, you took, like you said, by the end of the year, your teams have gotten better.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the last 2 years with a young team.
Right. That was something I kind of felt like I learned my first 3 years as the head guy. I felt like we peaked way too soon. I felt like we were peaking before district got here. And we'd be like 6-1, 5-2 going into district, and then we would kind of lose in district. And
don't take anything away from your district.
No, the district was brutal. I mean, that year we had La Cueva 1 year, we had Eldo 1 year, and Sandia. I mean, all 3 of us have, all 3 of them had represented, in the state final game, I believe. So, it was definitely teams that were really good. But I just felt like we peaked too soon, and so we kind of made a little bit of philosophical changes about just mentality and how we kind of practice with the kids, and the importance of when district comes, how important it is that we finish strong. And since then, I think we've been doing the right things. We're climbing up as we get into the playoffs, not kind of coming down.
You know what? And that's what I was afraid with this team this year is trying to keep. You you have a target on your back. Everybody,
yeah.
I mean, it started last year when you everybody's coming back and Bird getting the attention and it's just not Bird on this team. I mean,
it's definitely
that's
not.
why I keep telling everybody they got some weapons.
Yeah.
You better be and you guys. Your coaching and your play calling is it's almost like an equal opportunity offense. You try to find a weakness on the defense, and whoever that weakness, that's who's going to get the ball.
Yeah, so without a doubt, we're definitely not the Jordan Bird show. He's a hell of an athlete and he does a lot of things for us. But I mean, Xavier Ivy-Sod is a workhorse who we give the ball to more than Bird gets it. He gets it a ton. And then Andrew Erickson's a big playmaker for us. But I mean, none of it's really possible without the O-line. The O-line, nobody, just like in all of football, they don't get credit.
That's why I always, when I'm doing an announcement, and that's one thing we'll talk about El Dorado. That's the team that's going to come up. But the line is y'all's line on both the defensive and the offense is pretty.
Yeah, I mean the offensive line, we had 4 or 5 starters back this year, so I mean people kind of forget about that. But I mean they're the ones that make it all go. They're the ones who make everything work for Bird or for Ivy or Erickson, whatever. So they do a great job. And then on top of that, a lot of people they think about our offense because we have put up some points, and Bird's on the offense. I think we get a lot of recognition on there, but the defense is really what really makes our team complete because we're able to take away a lot of things people want to do because we're very talented on defense as well. And our defense, just last week in Clovis, they're the ones keeping us in the game. Offensively, we were kind of sputtering, but defensively, they were playing really well. So,
well, Chad, we're going to go to the Dream Style. Or I won't say Dream Style Arena, but it's Dream Style Remodeling Top 10 Plays of the Week. And, and we'll come back and we'll pick up with that little Cueva game.
All right, let's do it.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Looking for some exhilarating fun? It's at All Out Zone. All Out Zone showcases Nerf dart tag games from team elimination battles to human versus zombies, pitting 2 teams against each other in fun, organized chaos with trained referees, music, and a full arsenal of Nerf blasters. You need team parties, birthday parties. We can customize the party to fit your needs. Visit us at the Coronado Mall. Give us a call, 505-444-6964. All Out Zone.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We got Chad Adcox, head football coach at Manzano High School, 8-0 right now, and we're going to go right into this Rio Rancho team that you've kind of they've had
a number.
Sweet revenge, right? At this time,
it was definitely some revenge. You know, last year we got to go play them, and I mean that was a very talented team they had last year, and they really put it to us the first time we played. I think the score was 63-27 or something like that. So they really got us, and then we got to meet them in the semis, and they still, you know, we had made a lot of strides, I felt like, but we still couldn't get over the hump with them. And in this game, it was big. You know, it was a big statement game for us because people thought we were okay. You know, they thought we were pretty good, but they didn't know how good we were. And, I mean, this game kind of helped put us on the map. I think, you know, that we are a team that, you know, is to be contended with here. And so this was a great game. We played pretty flawless almost the entire game, and we just had so many things go right. I mean, including a 99-yard touchdown here. I mean, when I call that play, I'm thinking try and get room to punt the ball away, not this is going to go 99 yards the other way. So, but, you know, it was a great day and just a great game by our kids.
Well, it was, you know, from the fans, I would say that it was like shocking. I mean, okay. I mean, if you know, you look at the, I mean, you looked at the score and
nobody believed it.
Well, no, it was like, because Rio Rancho, if I'm correct, they're at that time they had like a 17-game winning. They had a
17-game win streak going.
17-game win streak coming in, and the way you exploited their defense, and then your defense. I was expecting. I thought you were going to, you know, we always make a deal. I thought you were going to win maybe by 2 touchdowns or 3. You know, if everything went well. But then I saw, you know, we watched the game, and it was like.
It was one of those like games that you kind of think about, and you never see it going that way. You know, I definitely never thought we would be up. I think it was 35-0 at half. Like, it was a running clock at half, and I'm like, never mind, wildest dreams, I see that coming. But I thought that was a credit to our kids and to our staff that, you know, I mean, our kids came out and they wanted to show that they belonged. You know, I mean, we kind of got embarrassed by them twice last year, and they want to show that, hey, we're a team to deal with this year, and our staff had a great plan, and we really, you know, executed well, and it was a good day. It was fun.
And my thoughts on the game is like you know, my thoughts just from my coaching experience was, you know, Juan, does Rio Rancho have our number? How's our kid? I mean, and no matter, there's just sometimes, I mean, it's just, you maybe have the better team, you have the deal, but the coach, for whatever reason there may be, and then I was thinking, well, for them, you just, like you said, you made a statement. I mean, it was, and then I got worried that you peaked too. I mean, I mean, all of a sudden, is this game? Yeah. We're going to see how are you a senior leader team, or are you just happy that you're going to go through and
Yeah, no, I really approached that game with the kids and said, if we win this game, we got a whole lot more football left, and we have not arrived by any means. And if we lose this game, the season's not over. Like, this is just game. I think it's game 4. This is game 4. That's what it is, and let's go play it like it's game 4. And if we lose, let's adjust and let's get better. And if we win, let's still get better and keep going after what we're trying to do. And so we're definitely weren't satisfied with just winning that game. We want to go out and make a run at the state title if we can. But that was a big step in what we needed to do.
Well, I tell you, you're making that step, and we're going to talk more about the Clovis game here in a little bit, and we'll talk more about the La Cueva game. But at this stage right now, you really have done an unbelievable job of keeping them at that high level. Yeah,
I mean, we've really. As I said, these kids have been starting for, a lot of our seniors have been starting for 3 years now, and I mean, we have been hounding into them that it is about the process, not the result, that each week you've got to get better. Nothing stays the same. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. You can't be content with where you're at. And so, I mean, they've bought into what we've been trying to explain to them, and they come out and they come to work each day and they try and get themselves better and get the game plan ready to go, and we've been able to execute it 8 times so far. So far so good.
Well, and that was kind of the expectations. I mean, you saw. I mean, that Rio Rancho game. Everybody was. I even remember making a statement on the sports desk with Scott Gleddy. Was basically, hey, Rio Rancho's they're still state championship team. They're still number, and they're going to go in, and we're going to find out if Manzano is. And right. I tell you, the way. And Dave Howes, you got to have respect for him. What he's done in his programs. Yeah. And I tell you what, that didn't sit well when like you said, running clock on a team that just won the state championship.
Yeah. Like I said, I never expected that, and it was just like I said, it was a magical day. Everything just was executed defensively and offensively to perfection. I think we blocked a punt, so even special teams stepped up that day. So. It's one of those days that you hope to have each and every day, but sometimes, those aren't very often where you get everything clicking all in the right direction.
And I think just one thing built onto another. And people don't give everybody talks about La Cueva's defense. I mean, that's all I hear about is La Cueva's defense. But I tell you what, Manzano's defense it's got to be right up. I mean, I don't know, one of your best that you've had.
No, I mean, statistically, they were ahead of us going into our game with them, but believe me, we made sure our kids understood that our defense doesn't get the credit it deserves. They're a very good group, very good unit, and they've kept us in a lot of games that, going back to last year, it was the defense that was the stronger part of our team. We were very young on offense last year, and we were kind of more senior heavy on the defensive side, but our defense is what kept us in games. And this year, our defense had some guys that we had to replace, obviously, with graduation, but they've stepped up big time, and our kids were ready to show that they're a good defense too. And they did that against Rio Rancho. They did that really every game this season. They've done a fantastic job of just playing great defense and giving our offense the opportunity to go score. They get a lot of stops and keep teams down to where we've been able to get the ball and go score.
Well, a lot of 3 and outs.
A lot of 3 and outs.
Like I said, my knowledge of football is not near, but I've watched a lot of it, and I've talked it and seen it, and that's the things that I've noticed on, I even said that. I said Manzano's defense is pretty good, guys. I just, I don't. They're not getting
We don't get the respect we deserve on defense. You know, everybody wants to talk about the offense, and I mean, I get that.
And you know what? That's actually a great thing because
it makes our defense play with a big chip on their shoulder, and I mean, I'm fine with that. To tell you the truth, I have no quandaries with our defense feeling like they're disrespected. I feel like as a team, a lot of times, you know, we haven't been in that upper echelon of the top 2 and 3 teams the last, you know, since 2010 was the last time we made the state championship run. And so we kind of get the credit of we're good, but we're not that good. And even this year, I still feel like a lot of times people pick against us, you know, they say, oh, Clovis is going to get him because they're going down to Clovis, and La Cueva is going to get him, and Rio Rancho is going to get him. But you know what? That's fuel for us. Like, let's go ahead and don't think we're very good, and let's go play football.
I can tell you, everybody in this, I think everybody in Proview Networks knows. I don't think anybody's picked against you when you go across the picks.
Yeah. I was giving Yotis a hard time because he picked against Rio Rancho. He picked Rio Rancho, and then against La Cueva, he picked La Cueva. So I told him, I said, Yotis, don't change, man. Like, you go ahead, you just keep picking against us. You know, that's fine up by us, and so, you know, that's kind of fun. But
well, that's the fun part of being it. But I tell you, there was a lot of people that really. I mean, I had an argument. I said no, and I have a great respect for Coach Beck and what his program, because they're a team. They really, in my opinion, just came from nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really all of a sudden,
right.
I mean,
they were 3-7 2 years ago, and then I think 8-2 last year, going in the playoffs, and then one loss this year. So he's done a great job. And
you know, he's changed. You know, he got a new offensive coordinator, and then it kind of opened up the offense and made everybody seem to be happy in the Cueva area. But I just couldn't. And hear me out on this. Is what I was trying to convince is how your speed. I mean, you practice it every day, so you're probably used to seeing it. Okay, well, and an opposing team doesn't see that in practice. Okay, and it takes. I mean, game conditioning, you know, and I was using. Everybody's talking about La Cueva's speed on defense, and I just started. I had a great argument with a guy, and it was on Sports Desk, and then I said, look, I'm telling you, this game is going to be Manzano, and now the next time they play, I'm just telling you as a deal, but because now they can, the kids seen that speed, they've seen it, and they can, you know, they're going to tweak some things to, you know, they're going to tweak some things to try to, you know, maybe they give you more extra yardage instead of trying to go in for that tackle, to use that breakaway thing.
Yeah, no, it's kind of like one of those things where, you know, as a coach, you try and prepare your kids, whether you're going against like a no-huddle team or a triple option team, and you can only replicate it so good to a point if it's not something you do all the time. And I know, you know, for example, when we play at Trisco every year, that's brutal because we're not a triple option team like they are. So getting ready for them is hard because we can't simulate the look that they run that triple option with. And so it's kind of the same thing, you know. I mean, we have a lot of team speed for sure, and you know they can't replicate that. But then you know you get out and you play and you just go and see what happens, you know. And I mean, they're gonna, if we see each other again down the road, they're gonna make adjustments, and so are we, you know. So I think it'd be definitely a fun game, just like this last one was.
Well, we're gonna, you know, I got slipped up on there. I got too ahead of myself, but we're gonna come back and we're gonna pick up with some highlights of that La Cueva game.
All right.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Duke City Sports Bar, proud supporter of Proview Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. Catch all the sports action from high school, college, pros, and MMA on one of our 35 HD TVs. Start your night off right with any selection from our delicious menu prepared with fresh, never frozen ingredients. Duke City Sports Bar, Albuquerque's newest sports bar. Located on Eubank and Montgomery, dial 505-433-4020.
Carmody Medical provides solutions for your everyday needs. Hot and cold compression wraps provide therapeutic compression for the shoulder, hip, and knee. The therapy wraps are constructed of an insulated outer fabric and a ventilated cotton pocket to protect the body. Elastic belts allow mobility and deliver a gentle, adjustable compression. The reusable therapy packs can be removed from the pouch and placed into the freezer. Contact Jim for more information.
Hoops NM Basketball Center is coming soon. 10 full courts broken into 2 wings for ultimate basketball and volleyball play. Locker rooms, a lounge area, a pro shop, and a full snack bar will all be a part of a great experience. Convenient parking and access will make the Hoops NM Basketball Center a premier facility for league play and competitive regional tournaments. With over 9,000 square feet, Hoops NM Basketball Center will take court sports play to another level in our community. Courts are regulation high school size with wood floors and seating for approximately 350 per court. Major sponsors and supporters are being assembled now. If you're interested, contact Dan Serrano at 505-249-7994. Send him an email, hoopsnm@aol.com. That's hoopsnm@aol.com. Hoops NM Basketball Center, a premier sports facility serving our community.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We're here with Chad Adcox, and we're going to go right into that. LeQuay, you got me goosebumps on that game. This is a tale of two halves, basically.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we got out. First quarter, we just kind of go back and forth. This is a really windy night, and both teams, when we were going against the wind and when they were going against the wind, really struggled. But then in the second quarter, when we got the wind with us, we were able to put up 21 points. And we took advantage of a turnover there to get another quick score. And then we got one right here. We got a big run by Jordan. And then we're able to score before the half to make it 21.
That was a big score.
Yeah, it was. It turned out to be the game winner, really. I mean, you know, so to speak. This one right here, this is a great individual effort by Jordan getting in the end zone there. And this is in the third quarter here now. This is the last touchdown we scored. And another great effort there. And then, you know, they came after us, and then this was the last play of the game. It's 4th and 3 with, I don't know, I think a minute, maybe just under a minute left. And, you know, we got, I don't know, maybe we got lucky, so to speak, that they decided to run the ball because they're such a good throwing team, and we got them and stopped them on the run on 4th down.
Well, and that's where you made a statement, all I've heard this year, I mean, it's amazing. Is LeQuay's defense, and maybe that was bulletin board, where your offense was having to think, you know, like we got to be on all cylinders, or this team could, you know, this team. I mean, in a way, that first half went. I mean, you came out with everything happening.
Yeah, played really well. You know, I mean, I felt good about the game. You know, the game plan was working there in the first half, and you know, everything was going. And then in the second half, you know, some injuries happened. LeQuay made some adjustments, and they got rolling. And momentum's, it's a fickle thing, man. When momentum gets going, you know, sometimes it's tough to stop. And if you remember on that last drive, we got a personal foul on that drive. We had stopped them for a 4-yard loss. We get a personal foul, 15 yards. Well, now all of a sudden they're on the, you know, 16-yard line, and shoot, man, like our defense is up against the wall, but they stepped up and got to stop on 3rd down and 4th down.
And that's a big building. That's a big confidence builder to your defense. I mean, at that time, like you said, momentum. I mean, it looked like
it was all with them.
They looked like they were going to come in and tie the game up. I mean, and it seemed like you know, it was the first half, and I want to really thank your crowd. I mean, that was a good crowd. It was all purple. It was all, there was no room in the bleachers.
No, it was packed.
And everybody stood up almost the whole game, and you're the band, and just the whole atmosphere was.
Yeah, it was awesome. That was a great atmosphere. You know, I was actually telling our activities director, because we had like a tailgate before the game because it was homecoming and stuff, but I was like, you know, I really wish that this was New Mexico football all the time. Like, people were excited about games, and fans came out to watch and support these kids. I really wish that's what it was like, and you know, maybe that was a step in the right direction, trying to get more people to come out and watch these teams and see some good football.
Well, I know you've already said it, but you know, to me, it was from being with Proview and the years I've been with Proview, and also just a fan of high school sports, from coaching basketball and being around it. It was, you know, basically two Albuquerque schools that are 1 and 2, and it was a big. And people ask me, well, why is it such a big deal? And I go, well,
it's just rare. It's just rare.
Well, I meant to ask you this because he's into that. I was trying to get him to go back, you know, in the history of it when you know 1 and 2 played. And you said you know, talking with you had a great game against was it La Cueva?
It was La Cueva.
La Cueva, where y'all won by 1 point. But it was maybe 2 and 3, I think
it was 2 and 3 at the time.
2 and 3 or something like that. And y'all won on that pass at the end, right?
Yeah, right at the end. Yeah, exactly.
So it was big to me. I mean, it was big, and it was also great because, you know, Rio Rancho and Cleveland was playing that.
Yeah, that was neat.
And we changed in the beginning of the season.
It was going to be Cleveland Rio Rancho.
And we changed, and they had a great game.
Yeah,
we had that on Channel 26, but we had put your game up, and I thought that was just, it just seemed like the thing to do because you have 1 and 2.
No, it was really neat. I mean, it was an atmosphere that I've only experienced one other time, and that was in 2010 when we played Mayfield in the state championship, when it was just packed, and you know, and so it's not something that you see very often where you get crowds like that in Wilson Stadium. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I think it makes for a great experience for everybody, for the fans, for the kids, for the coaches. Like, it makes it more fun to have all that excitement, all that energy in the stadium, and people talking, and we really, I think, you know, the kids played really kind of thrive off of that. They like that stuff. You know, they like the student body there, and all the alumni coming back and supporting. So it's a lot of fun.
And people were really caught off guard. I don't know, you probably wasn't paying attention to your game, but it was the La Cueva side in the beginning wasn't. It looked like there was nobody coming to the game. Well, find out is that they couldn't get in. There was no parking. And then people were there was traffic delays and people. And then by like that end of the first quarter, then all of a sudden it was like
it was pretty packed. I did see towards the end of the game it was full. I know it was, you know, a quick side.
I don't know if that was like disappointing. You're looking over because they don't have a respect for us. They're gonna come, or we're gonna just blow them out. Okay.
Right.
Well,
no, they definitely didn't think that. It's just, you know, they got in there. They got a good crowd. They had a big crowd on them. But I mean, it was a side note, like real quick. My wife, she's crazy as far as she's very superstitious. So ever since this year.
Does that run in the compo too?
Ocampo is very superstitious, but my wife doesn't get to the games on time. And since we've been winning, she still doesn't get to games on time. And in that game, the La Cueva game, she showed up early because she knew it was going to be hard to get in. So she showed up really early, and she's like, I got a bad feeling because I'm not supposed to be here this early, you know. And I'm glad she did, because she probably wouldn't have got in till halftime almost. So
even found a seat.
Or even found a spot, you know. So it was a fun crowd, and you know, it was.
Upbeat crowd. It was upbeat, and
you know, and it was a little cool, but it wasn't. It was a nice night, and I mean, it was fun. It was something I think that Albuquerque, as the metro area, and 2 football teams should be proud of. It was a fun event for everybody to go out to.
Well, and then you know, you win that game, so the emotions are high. And then you know, and then I really, truthfully, I thought Clovis could be a trap game. Okay.
I totally agree.
And it was the week after, and I did the game that Saturday with La Cueva and.
You mean Eldo and Clovis?
Eldo and Clovis, and I was in my mind I'm thinking, well, because I'm from Clovis, okay, but I'm more Metro now than I am, but I always, I wore my purple to
can't go wrong in that game.
And so I was telling her, well, at least I know one thing's going to happen. I got to predict one thing:
purple team's going to win.
Purple team's going to win the game, but I just knew that, going, to Leon with the tradition in Clovis. You've been. I mean, I'm just saying it's hard to.
It's hard to
correlate that to your players, and all right, we're going to be on a bus for 3.5 hours. Right. We got to get up. We got to eat. All the things to prepare for it. It's
definitely, and we tried to really make sure that as we talked to the kids during the week that, we're coming off really 2 big games in 3 weeks in that we had played Rio Rancho, then we had Piedra Vista, which was a 3-hour road trip, and then we had the big game against La Cueva. So 2 really big games in 3 weeks, and then now to go to another one, and that you couldn't.
And their backs are against the wall.
Yeah, and they had just lost to El Dorado, so they've got to come out and give them everything they got, because if they don't win this game, they're looking up in the district standings. So, we're going to take a punch, and I told the kids that all week that you can't let this be a trap game. It's going to be hostile environment, but you know what's really neat about this is it's going to be a playoff environment. This is what we're going to kind of stuff we're going to see in a playoff game. Big fan crowd, team coming with everything they got, and those are things that we need to use to our advantage to get us better and get us ready. And Clovis, to their credit, they did. I mean, they came out and they got the ball to start, and they went right down the field. Like, that's the first time all year that any team has gone right down the field on us and scored. And
see, we were I was doing a game on Friday night, and we were keeping the the score up.
Right.
It was like 7-0.
7-0 like that, and then we got the ball.
And that stayed that way for a while.
Because we got the ball, then we punted, and then we finally got the score back, but we missed our extra point, so it's 7-6, and then it goes into a lightning delay. So now we're into some.
Welcome to the road. Huh?
So now, and one of the things we try to always talk to our kids about is, that like adversity is going to happen. An injury is going to occur, a lightning delay, something's going to happen. Are you going to let it change, the game, or are you going to go out and keep executing? And, I felt like after the lightning delay, we really played really well. It's just we couldn't get the points on the board, but then eventually we broke through in the third and eventually got the win down there. But it was a fun place to play. They got the fire truck out there with the big flag and the lights are flashing. You don't see that up here, So that was a lot of fun. And like I said, I thought it was something that helped prepare us for hopefully what's coming down the road.
Well, it can't be any worse, right? I'm just, that's one. You talk about. Your team has had some I mean, you haven't had. I don't want to get into real detail, but you haven't been.
We've had a lot of health issues throughout this year. We've been, I think, a fully loaded team in 2 of our 8 games. Where we did not have a starter out. We've had a starter out or multiple starters out in every week, and the old mentality of, hey, next man up's got to go, and that's kind of what we do. And so. But I feel like when we're at our peak, we're a very good team, and but the key is we got to stay healthy, And
well, Chad, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about the rest of the season, and really talk about this El Dorado game you got coming up on Thursday.
Let's do it.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
VR Junkies is a virtual reality arcade. We specialize in all things VR, from the simple phone-based headsets to cutting-edge full-body motion systems. Check us out at the Coronado Mall. VR Junkies.
When I train for American Ninja Warrior, I schedule regular workouts to stay in shape. To keep my car in Ninja Tough shape, I head to a Napa Auto Care Center for regular maintenance and genuine Napa Auto parts, like brakes and batteries. I trust my Napa Auto Care Center for quality parts and quality service. And with the 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty, I drive away with peace of mind every time. Visit AutoCareNM.com to find a location near you.
Hey everyone, Adam Deal here with Proview Networks. Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of Proview Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
Dave & Buster's is your destination for fun. Eat delicious chef-crafted food. Try sizzling favorites and new creations from our talented chefs. Drink the coolest cocktail creations. Play the hottest new games to win awesome prizes. And watch all the games in the best sports bar ever. Only at Dave & Buster's.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
The Steve Davis Show is proudly presented by Dave & Buster's.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We got Chad Adcox here. We're talking Manzano football and big game this week. I mean, every game is a big game, but it's another big game this week.
Another one, yeah.
And from a fans, I'm telling anybody that wants to come watch some good coaching and like a chess mate, like two heavyweights going at it.
Right.
This is, am I correct? I mean,
yeah,
and the team that has a turnover. I mean, I'm just saying there's a lot of who can control. But this game is going to be high octane. Us and El Dorado is always a good game. They've been a very good team this year. Coach Dawson's done a tremendous job with his kids this year, and it's going to be definitely a big game. I mean, really, it's the district championship, and that's what we told our kids because, I mean, they're 2-0 in district, we're 2-0 in district. If they win, then they control their destiny to win the district championship. If we win, well, then we control ours. So this is a big game, and it's. And I forgot about that.
Yeah.
This is, Charlie, he's going to play it off that he's beat up and but he's their offensive line, like I said, I probably maybe have tunnel vision because I've watched them and I've seen them beat Clovis and I've seen them beat Sandia and El Dorado's a rivalry game and Clovis really didn't have an answer, and I know Clovis's defense is pretty good. I mean, I just try to balance it all out, but you can't miss it. It's a Thursday night game, and is that good or bad? I mean, you just cut off that road trip.
Yeah, being that we're both coming off a Friday night game, it's fair. I mean, Thursday night games are kind of hard to get ready for just because it's such a quick turnaround. I mean, especially, like we got home, 2 a.m. on Saturday morning, brought the kids in Saturday afternoon, got our film done, got everything ready, practiced Monday, Tuesday, and, today's walkthrough and tomorrow's game. So it's a quick turnaround, but it's going to be a good game. I mean, their offense is very explosive. Like I said, they're 2-0 in district, and it's going to be a challenge for us on both sides of the ball for us to put up points and to stop them. We need to come out and play well and just go out and execute. I mean, that's the plan. Obviously we have our game plan, they got theirs, and like you said, it's a chess match, and let's see who can make it work.
And like I said, if you Charlie Dodson, he's had a successful program. Your program is on the rise, and actually your whole district, if you really think about it. I mean,
our district turned out to be really, really tough.
Last I saw, now Sandia, but 5 of your teams were in the top 10, so that and that may be changing a little bit, but that's pretty remarkable. So every game you go out, you better be ready to play.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, our district as a whole has been a very tough district almost ever since it came about. I mean, I took over the head job in 2012, and I mean we've had a representative in the Final Four. I think every time. I mean, Charlie made the state championship game. Coach Barker made the state championship game. I think in 2013, La Cueva got to the semis in I think 13. Or 14, somewhere in there, So I mean, our district's been tough for quite a while now, and it seems to kind of go in waves. We've all kind of had our opportunities to represent the district, and we got lucky and were able to win it last year, and this year we're 2-0, and it's it's definitely going to be a tough game, this one, and as you said, it's one tough game after another, but I mean that's all the playoffs are, is one tough game after another. So that's what we're kind of using it for, is a building block to, hey, this is what we're going to have to do if you guys want to do something big in the playoffs. It's going to be a tough game followed by a tough game followed by a tough game. So
here's the other thing: even if you don't like football, you ought to just go out, because the bands are going to be El Roy's band and Manzano's band.
Yeah,
they're going to be doing. I mean,
they're always going back and forth.
That's a show in itself too.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's. I mean, I really wish there was kind of more of a battle of Juan Tabo kind of thing, like there was like a little street sign trophy or something, and we'd kind of pass it back and forth, whoever wins the game. I think that'd be kind of fun. I mean, I think that's what high school, football and sports is all about, man. It's about having fun and letting these kids have some fun rivalries and getting after each other. I mean, I think that's what it's all about.
Well, I tell you, I mean, I know I think about, you take one game at a time, and then after Thursday you have a bye, and is that a?
That's a good thing for us.
It's a good thing. Now okay, I can assume that you're going to probably get a bye. Okay, I mean, no, even if you lose, whatever. Let's just assume that you're going to get a bye the first round. So is that good? I mean, you even thought that process through?
The regular season bye coming up is a good thing. We need it. We've played 9 straight weeks now, 8 straight weeks going into our 9th. So I mean, we need to get some guys healthy, and so that's a good thing. Going into the playoffs, if we're lucky enough to get a bye, I was on some very good teams when Coach Ocampo was, the head coach, and we had byes then. Actually, we had a time when we were the 1 seed in 2010. We had the bye at the end of the year, and then the bye the next week. So we had 2 weeks off straight. So, I've kind of learned what to do with the kids during those bye times to keep them focused and to keep, your eye on the prize. And so I don't think it's a bad thing. For us, I think it's really going to be good for us. We'll be fully healthy going into the playoffs, and that I think is the key. A lot of the time.
That's the key with every team right now. Every team. So I like when I saw that, when Josh brought it out to me with the. That you had to buy. I'm saying, man, this is perfect. I mean, and especially I guess there's 2 ways to look at it. It's perfect if you win on Thursday night.
If you lose, then you want to get back to work.
But that's why you play the game.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if you go out with a win and you got 10 days or so to heal up, and then you got to play Sandia your last game, and that game's always, I know Coach Barker. He's similar to you. Like he started 7 sophomores last.
No, he's young right now, and he's done a great job this year. To put them in the position they are. They've had a good season. So they're, you know, they're going to be a team that's going to be really tough a couple years down the road, just like when we were, you know, had a lot of young kids. You know, we took our lumps, but we got better, and I'm sure he's going to be, you know, really good in a couple years. But, yeah, we'll get to that final game, you know, against Sandia, and that'll be a fun one, just because it's always fun. You know, Coach Barker, you know, he used to coach Monzano, so it's kind of a little you know, rivalry, so to speak. Sure. And, you know, and Coach Barker's been a tremendous mentor to myself. He's helped me out a lot.
He's a mentor to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, he's the most tenured coach around, so he's kind of the godfather of high school football right now. But he's always, you know, helped me if I've called him asking questions, you know, more about even off the field stuff, not X and O stuff, more like how do you handle this kind of situation. He's helped me out with those, and, you know, I've been appreciative to him for all that. But
he does that with
everybody.
With everybody.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know,
I've had some great conversations. Like you and I have great conversations, and he talks about, you know where his program's at, and what a good, you know, what a good season for him is going to be, and and we always end up talking for about 2 or 3 hours.
Right. Yeah. No. Coach Barker's a great guy. You know, he's the kind of guy that it's fun to go have a drink with and sit down and just talk football and talk shop. So yeah, he's done a really good job this year. I've been very impressed, you know, starting those sophomores and getting the wins he's got.
But it's pretty funny. I mean, even every coach in your district is fun to talk to. I mean, I mean, you go out and you sit and I really appreciate it because you know. I don't think of myself as the media or something like that. I just think I'm just like one of the guys.
One of the guys,
you guys all make me feel like I'm just one of the guys. I just sit down and you guys discuss things that probably, you know, that stays with me. But if anybody can just go out and hang out with the coaches, man, it's
you know, I think it's kind of like that. You know, a lot of the coaches, we're all kind of cliquey when, you know, we get to our meetings, you know, or the metro meetings. We all, you know, of course, we're all cordial and everybody likes to talk, but then you kind of all go off on your own, you know, and that's fun. I mean, that's really what it's all about, you know. On that night we're playing each other, you know, hey, we're not talking to each other, but after that, like, it's a lot of fun, and they're all good guys.
And you know what? And what I really, you guys all care about each other's programs. I mean, you know, if a coach is down, I know, you know, whatever. You've been there. I mean, I mean, because to me, I mean, high school football is about the kids. I mean, 100% it is about the kids, and it's about trying to help these kids have a great experience, you know, that they can use later on in life, whether it's dealing with adversity or, you know, learning to become a teammate. I think that's what high school football is about, and that's what we really try and preach in our program, and I believe a lot of those guys do as well. And so that's what I think, you know, it is such a good camaraderie with everybody, because at the end of the day, it's all about the kids. Well, you know, it's amazing. We 1 hour just went by just like that. And again, congratulations on, you know, where your program is and your year. I know the expectations are what they were. And I remember coming up to you and I go, hey, I'm not going to talk about how good you are. And the first thing you said, well, I got 2 players that are not playing, so it's not. I still got to go coach. So.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's, you know, we've done a good job this year, but, you know, we got a long ways to go still. We're not done, and you know, we want to go out and finish strong and see where we go.
Well, Chad, hey, good luck to you. You know, a big game, and we'll be there.
Another one, but I appreciate that.
And then we'll see what happens over the next 4 weeks.
Awesome.
Sound.